So for our lovely Miss M, she's got a little tangled, so I'm just going to readjust her leash. So I know that she came in originally on the Easy Walk harness. It is in her little bag. I saw you did pack it, but I did mention, Millie, that working, and Abba, you stay right there for just a second, okay? So working with a Y-shaped harness might be more comfortable. This one fits her okay. She technically, oh, chewing is optional. She technically would be the next size up, but this one's on the very edge of not being able to fit, but still okay for right now. So the benefit of that Y-shaped harness is, I don't know if you can see from her here, right? Her harness originally cut across her shoulder. This is a Y-shaped harness, so it creates a Y. So it allows her whole shoulder blade here to move comfortably and appropriately. So you can also still use this harness with a front clip. So if, let's say, for example, and again, we're just having, Ebba's just walking around as we're blabbing. So as Miss M is hooked up in the front, it does have a little circular metal ring. It technically is designed to be used typically more so on the back clip, but it's just as durable and it's the same material on the front and the back. So I sometimes like to use the front clip because then as the pup gets excited or pulls ahead, remember, as I mentioned, equipment is not going to create behavior, but it's going to help us sometimes through some of the learning process. So what I mean by that is view her like the trailer and you're the truck with the hitch. As Miss M were to go ahead and pull forward, having the front clip can sometimes help you pivot her body back towards you. So again, as we're meandering, I'm just going ahead and feeding for some of this lovely behavior. She is just practicing being soft and, cozy next to my little one. So you'll see that with Miss M, I did use my little positive interrupter. I also, ready? So see with the front clip, I can then pivot her back towards me. So Ebba, can you stay off right about there is good. Do you want to help me do a couple proper hellos? Okay, can you stand right about there for Mama? Come a little closer, a little closer. You want to be a little bit closer so the camera can see you a little bit better. Okay, right about there is beautiful. Can you stay right there? So I know for Miss M, she tends to do a lot of scratching. So remember, this is not always necessarily allergies. This could also be that she typically would rather be just, again, naked. So wearing a harness for some dogs is a little bit overwhelming if they haven't been accustomed to it. Or it could be also a little bit of a stress signal. So your dogs will at times do what are called displacement behaviors. So this is where they take natural dog behaviors or responses to certain things, but they're out of context or almost exaggerated. So when your babe is feeling frazzled, sometimes they will do excessive shaking, so shake-offs over and over. They will do a lot of sniffing and exploring. Even though they've already been in the environment for a while, then all of a sudden they feel like they have to go sniff everything once again. Other behaviors could be, for example, the itching. So Ebba, while you're right there, Mommy's going to try and do a few approaches, okay? And you just hang out for Mama for a second. So I'm going to take Miss M. Step number one for some hellos would be your approach. So if lovely Miss M were way too excited and she was pulling me all the way to my lovely little lady, I'd want to turn and go away and do the approach several reps. So that way, Miss M is not getting right to her final destination, which would be to the little one, before we're ready. So you might go find some of those find its from earlier when we were doing the door exercise. So let's say Miss M, maybe she prefers this side and that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and get a little sit from her. Remember sitting positions? She's like, I would much rather just be a wild woman. So sitting for some babes is too hard. So what I mean by that is there's company and sitting still might be too difficult. So I would recommend movement behavior. So let's pretend sitting still makes her whine and bark and jump and wiggle. What I would recommend, so Ebba, you're going to stay there and Mommy's going to practice approaching you a little bit and do some find-its, okay? Thank you. So with Miss M, we're going to go ahead and get her attention. I'm going to go right into a little find-it near my distraction. If Miss M was finding this way too exciting, I would not get this close. So remember, the closer you are to something or someone, the harder it will be for your puppy. Ready? Nice job, cuteness. So if, for example, being really nearby equals I get way too excited, then we don't want to start so close. So right here, she's now getting reinforced for staying soft and finding the target food on the ground. And we're just practicing near my little one. Ready? Find it. So now Miss Emma is starting to associate maybe Ebba, our lovely guest, right? You're a bit cuckoo. That does happen sometimes. That's okay. That's very normal for a 4-year-old to go a little crazy. So for our lovely Miss M, now Ebba, we're going to do a little approach. Ready, Mill? I'm going to get her attention, get a little sit. So I'm going to see if we can have my little one come do a little high. So what I want you to do, Ebba, as opposed to patting her, because patting her might get her more excited, is here's a few snacks for you. And I want you to do a few little find it. So I'm just going to get Miss M's attention over here. And don't worry if you drop one. That's okay. We'll find those later. So for our little Miss M, we're going to, oh, okay, we can do a little find it. Thank you, Ebba. So go ahead, toss a few more for Miss M. So here you go. Say find it. Nice. So let's say, for example, there you go. Drop another. There you go. Beautiful. So let's say Miss M, good job. Let's say you were reading her body language and she was getting a little bit excited. Definitely try and make it where the hellos are short and sweet. So what I mean by that, as opposed to spending a good 5 or 10 minutes near the thing, which might make her even more and more excited, is sometimes do a little high, disengage, and then go back again. So Ebba, as I come a little closer, I'm going to go ahead and bring Miss M into a little sit. Yes, nice job on a feeder for that. And then what I'm going to do, Hippo, can you have a few more snacks for Mama? Here. So here's some snackies. See if you can toss a few. So Millie, go ahead, find it. So remember, you're going to say find it, and you're going to toss a couple snacks for her. So there we go. Nice job, Ebba. So the benefit of your pup going and doing some scavenger hunts near the new distraction is that it takes the excitement off of the person or the object and redirects it onto the floor. There you go, Ebba. Thank you. So the benefit of, again, doing some scavenger hunts with the food on the ground is it gets your puppy to think that even though the company might be awesome, that they could instead, ready? Oh, there she goes. She's finding the nice big one over there. Beautiful. Ready, Millie? The big one, it's a little salmon snack. So again, there we go. Beautiful. Or actually, that one's not salmon, beef. You were a little bit closer. Yep, so ready? So let's say she gets a little excited. You can see she's wanting to pull. We might get Miss M's attention with that little positive interrupter. Nice job. And then she could do a couple little redirections onto the floor. But the main goal is if you keep Miss M under her threshold, which means, again, within her capabilities of feeling comfortable and under threshold, so she's not getting too flustered or too excited, you're then going to help her be able to be also connecting between her mind and her body. So if let's say Miss M, let's say we're going to try a little bit with a little high with some physical contact. I want to, oh my goodness, chewing. I want to make sure that if, let's say, physical contact is either overwhelming or too exciting, we don't go right into it. So remember, your dog is also part of the process. So Ebba, I'm going to bring her right here, get a little sit. Would you like to come say hi to my lovely lady? Can you come closer and say hello? So I'm going to go right into feeding a little bit with Miss M. So that way, nice job, Millie. I'm keeping her attention on me. She's a little bit slimy. That's typical. Can you pat a little bit on her side? Nice. That's very good. Good job, Miss M. So this is also very helpful if your puppy is, again, a little bit more of a licker and an eager beaver. So remember, proper hellos are going to be very different depending on your dog's comfort range and their capabilities. So if your dog is not a huge fan of stranger danger or little ones, we would not, ready? Yes. We would not go ahead and have the puppy be stationary while some random new child is touching her. So we want to make sure that if she's showing signs that it's stressful, that we're not forcing the situation and putting the dog or the other person or other animal in danger. So I know she's an easygoing kind of gal, but she tends to get really smoochy. Remember that a lot of kisses are not always kisses as in I'm excited, but it could also be a kiss to dismiss. So remember that there will be many different dog body language moments. Licking is sometimes what's called an appeasement behavior or behavior that tries to help diffuse the situation. So when some dogs are actually overwhelmed, they will lick excessively, and sometimes that means going for the mouth or by the face. It doesn't always mean I'm interested in what's going on. It can also mean sometimes that I would like to have you create distance, but I'm trying not to overwhelm myself or you at the same time. So nice job, Miss M. So remember, proper hellos, the dog should be part of it, not just something on display for someone to go pat. Because if your babe is doing a lot of stress signals during the engagement, that could mean that they're not really loving the dynamic. So make sure it's from both ends. Abba, would you like to come say hi again to little Miss M? So I'm going to get Miss Millie's attention. Hold on one second. She wants to give lots of kisses. So I'm going to set up Miss M in a little sit. Nice. And the reason I ask for a stationary position sometimes, it just gives your dog something to work on instead. Abba, can you come say hi real quick? So come say hi. There we go. Beautiful. Nice job, Miss M. If Miss M's like, oh my gosh, I'd love to go snuggle, remember that we want to keep it short and sweet so it's not too exciting for the lovely lady and not too overwhelming for the little one. Millie, sit. Yes. So let's say too sometimes, and Ebba, do you mind just walking around and just doing your own thing for a minute while I'm practicing here? No, you stay here. Just go ahead and do some walking. So let's say we're going to practice, ready, Mel? Is a little bit with some movement. So sometimes as your company is in the home, when they're stationary for some puppies, that's a lot easier. But when littles start to move, a lot of times it does create some excitement. Ready, Mel? Millie. Nice. So if, let's say, movement behaviors are hard for your puppy, about move around the puppy, okay? Not on top of her. So remember that distance will create an easier dynamic for your girl or boy. Ready? Mill. So sometimes getting them up and wiggling can help them get more comfortable again. So if you're finding that the distraction is too great, create some movement. Ready? Mill. Yes, good girl. Nice job, Millie. So if, for example, being stationary is very difficult, sit. Get them to first practice with some wiggles. So getting your babe up and moving, sometimes having other targets than the person or distraction will be immensely helpful too. Ready, Millie? Let's go. Nice job, cuteness. Oh my goodness, chewing. Ready? So I'm just, again, capturing little moments where she's doing a really nice job being nearby. She's doing a couple little find-its here and there when she's feeling cozy. Nice job, Millie. Yes. Beautiful. Nice job, Beba. All right, ready, Millie? Yes. So we'll get a little check-in. Oh, what a smart girl. Beautiful job. It's a great job, Miss M. So if you do have your little one, so I know your grandson, I believe it is at the home, you can sometimes do some of this practice together, even while he's here just doing his own thing. So let's say he is, going to do find it. Good job. Millie. Yes. So let's say your little one might be just doing their thing, playing around the house, making some ruckus. I'd make it where sometimes the littles are paired with just watching and feeding. So it could be as simple as her being soft, acknowledging the little distraction. Yes. And then feeding for the softness. So remember, if we don't capture some of the little moments, ready, Millie? Yes, good girl. If we don't capture some of the smaller moments for Miss M, that means that we're always asking for the big girl, big boy behavior. Ready, Mel? And they may not be ready for that type of step. So feeding for the almost there behaviors are also going to be really crucial. Nice job. Because if, let's say, the full behavior would be completely ignore the human, only stay focused on the handler, that would need maybe more practice. But we want her to also think little one doesn't always equal exciting or scary. Nice. Yes, my love. Oh, they're doing repairs. Heba's always very curious about my building and what holes or things are missing at times. So because right now they're in the process of rewiring the building to make sure each unit has their own section. So they've been doing some new wiring. Millie. Yes, nice job. And that includes sort of taking old things down, right, Mel? And then putting new items up. Good job being by the fan. So we'll give little Miss M a little breather from these proper hellos. She did a really nice job. Good job, cuteness. And we'll do another little video in a second. Ready, Mel? Good job, Millie.